Hello, welcome to Farrell Swim Tech. My name is John Farrell. This is the swim stream where I teach you how to be faster at swimming. We have for you tonight another video review. So before we get into it, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to this channel, Farrell Swim Tech, for more swimming information to help you get faster at your races. Little bit about myself before I get into it. My name is John Farrell. I swam competitively from the mid-90s all the way until the 2010s. So I've had about 15 years of competition experience under my belt. I am a high school All-American. I swam NCAA Division I for Brigham Young University. I was top 104th in NCAA Division I in both the 100 backstroke and the 200 backstroke. Yeah, I have spent a lot of time in the pool. I've been doing private stroke technique coaching for over 12 years, and I'm going to use that to help Team Zoot member Lacey tonight, who has sent me some video of her swimming in her local 25-yard pool. And we're going to see what we can do to help her out. So before you get into it, farrellswimtech@gmail.com. If you want me to review your swim stroke, please send me an email here. Check me out on Instagram, YouTube, and or Rumble. And like I said before, hit the like buttons, hit the subscribe button. Here we go with Lacey. So as always, I like to do kind of a lightning round of sorts. Ugh, yuck. That extended onto my wrong monitor. I like to do a lightning round where I play the clip and then I discuss a bunch of things, and then we're going to pick 3 major things that Lacey should be working on. So here we go. So first thing I notice off the bat, the left hand has a major hesitancy during the breath. Also, like, basically everything stops except for the kick, which kick isn't bad. Body positioning is super good. We need to work more on the breath, rotation, and timing. There just seems to be a major hitch in that whole thing. Kick probably could be a little bit stronger, but right now the pull is a lot more necessary. One thing I like that Lacey is doing is she has a pretty good rotation onto her side. So you can kind of see her hips rotating about 45 degrees. Honestly, that is about where we want to be. So we're going to start this over again. The other thing, too, is we need to get those elbows up just a little bit more. Her left arm does not finish the pull either. Her right arm does finish the pull, but the only reason she's finishing the pull is because she's using the finish of that pull to help her get the breath. So you see the arm goes all the way to the back, and then she takes her breath, and then she brings her arm back over the water. Okay, so with all of that in mind, what we want to do now is we want to pick out the most important things for Lacey to be working on. Because it is always my thought that swim technique comes in steps. You always want to kind of hunker down on what is the biggest problem of the stroke, and then we start correcting those major issues. And once we correct the major issues, there's a fair amount of the other stuff that kind of falls into place. So with Lacey, the number one thing I see is that huge hesitation when she breathes, okay? So the idea with swimming is we want to be swimming like we're on a bicycle, like we're pedaling on a bicycle. I got my bike right back behind me. This is where I do my personal live streams. I actually stream my workouts. It's kind of fun. So you could actually find them on YouTube or Rumble. So also twitch.tv/thefarrell1. Because some jerkface took the Farrell, and I'm not happy about that. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Twitch. We're here to talk about bikes. Actually, no, we're here to talk about swimming, but bikes are related. Okay, so when you pedal on a bike, you want your pedals to be nice and smooth. You want to be continuously pushing the pedals, obviously, unless you're in a downhill section. But if you're flat or slightly upgrade, you want to keep the pedals moving at all times, and you want them to be moving at a very smooth pace. You don't want to go bang, bang, or here, okay? You don't want to be doing that. You want to be smoothly pushing the pedals. Our arms are like the bike pedals. That's exactly what we want to be doing with the arms. And what's happening with Lacey is she's getting here. she's stopping, taking a breath, and you see her front hand specifically moves vertically down, probably about that far underneath the water. She goes here, breath, and then everything snaps back into place. And then she does 2 good strokes, and she takes a breath down and then back over. So first thing we need to do is we need to develop a way to work on this breathing technique to where we make it more natural. So the first thing we need to understand is, when does the breath happen? You know, it's all a question of timing. It's not a question, because Lacey is doing it pretty good. So here, I actually have it on a pretty good freeze frame right here. So what we see is the head. Okay, the head's a little more rotated. The neck's a little more rotated to the side than I would like it. But you see her shoulder is clearly out of the water. The hip is clearly out of the water. And she has, and yeah, my monitor is over this way, so that's why I'm looking over here. So the alignment is pretty good. And this particular one, the neck is rotated just a little bit too far. So if we go back just a little bit, so she's coming in here, and then she's right there. So she takes a breath, shoulders out of the water. The breath technique is good. The problem is the timing. So what we're going to do is we're going to slow down this to 33%, and we're going to pop it back to here, and then we're going to go again. Okay, so then she comes down, so she takes her stroke back, pause, breath, and comes out of the water. Okay, push back, pause, breath, hand then comes out over the water. So what's happening is Lacey is coming here, breath, then the hand comes over the water. So here's what we want to be doing. So I breathe to my right, so this is towards the camera. So we're gonna grab the water, and here, so I've already got onto my side as the hand is coming back. So that's number one. So we want to start here, face down, and to the side, take the breath as the hand comes up over. So your face is out. Okay, so let's go over that again. So you can do this just with your right arm. So push back, take your breath, and then continue to breathe. Close the mouth, face back in the water, blow your bubbles out. Okay, so that's the timing. So you want to take your breath from here to here, and then as your arm and elbow pass the vertical, that's when the shoulder comes down, and that is when you are working on getting your face back in the water. Okay, so the timing is down, breathe down, breathe down, breathe down. Okay, so it is always my recommendation when you are training not to breathe every stroke. Now, some people may say I'm nuts. I know that there's a particular individual in the Lionel Sanders Discord who thinks I'm an idiot for saying this. He is a certain fellow, a Brit, that believes breathing all the time. My British accent's terrible. So, but I mean, the idea is we want to try and have a couple more strokes where our face isn't, where we're not throwing our body completely out of position every single time. So 2 things. What we want to do is we want to work on how to breathe more properly. And then on top of that, we have to work on figuring out how to not pause the stroke every time we take a breath. So what you can do is pulling. Okay? Don't worry too much about the kick. Just worry about the pull. So the idea is we need to create an environment to where you are able to actually practice and work on continuously moving the arms. Because when you breathe every stroke, you tend to develop certain habits of the breaststroke and the non-breath stroke. So with Lacey, what we see here, and we're going to go back to the analysis scene here. So what we see here is every time Lacey takes a breath, she pauses. So right here, pause, stroke, no pause. Pause, no pause. Pause, no pause. Okay? So I also think I saw something with that hand. We'll go over that in a minute. But basically what Lacey's doing is she has half of her stroke that has an inherent pause baked into the cake, and then the other half of the stroke where there is no pause, and it actually flows pretty normally. So what we need to do is we need to create the condition to where Lacey doesn't have to worry about this. You do that with a snorkel. Let me get mine. I wasn't thinking about my snorkel, and I actually used it with a teenager today, and it was hilarious. This is my snorkel. I love my snorkel. So basically, I have to stretch it back out because I had it set for a teenage boy. Give me 1 second here. Oh, come on, do this. Don't do this to me. There you go. Okay, so what you do, you put the snorkel on, just like this. You rotate it around. And then you swim. Okay? Very much so recommend the snorkel. Absolutely for someone like Lacey and basically anyone that has a huge imbalance between the breath stroke and the non-breath stroke, using a snorkel is going to really allow you to kind of settle your head down and really focus on the right side of your body and the left side of your body really coming together. Now, I know that there are a fair amount of pools that do not allow toys.
Mommy wanted some cough drops, and I was telling her that I was a little gross, so I'm getting her a water bottle to go with it.
Why does she need a one of my water bottles?
I don't know, because I can't find a water bottle in there. With the lid.
Oh, with the lid. Okay.
Yeah, I can't find one.
All right. Sorry, my 8-year-old just raided the wonderful recording studio. Anyway, so hopefully you can use a snorkel at your place. But if not, fear not. Basically what you want to do is you want to do these in 25s. If you can't use a snorkel, if you can use a snorkel, just use it and swim as far as you can with a snorkel. And focus on not stopping your right arm when it gets to the back, and don't allow that left arm to drop and stop, okay? Basically, you pause here every time to take a breath. We're trying to figure out how to eliminate that pause, okay? So we don't want to pause. So how do we do that? Snorkel. Snorkel, number one way to do it. Very easy to do it. Continuously breathe. Nice and easy. In and out, in and out. All you're doing is focusing on not stopping the arms. That's it, okay? If you do that, you're going to automatically increase your speed. You're going to go faster automatically. So do a fair amount of each of your training days with this snorkel on, just working on continuously moving those arms. I guarantee you this is going to be a huge bonus. And on top of this, there's a good chance you might iron out some of the stuff that's underneath the water. I kind of have a sneaking suspicion with your left arm, because you breathe to your right. I have a suspicion that your left arm is pulling way wide out to your side whenever you take a breath. And I think that here, let me look over this again, because you're going, and yep. There, let me show you. Let me show you. Pause right there. Okay, so that shows me that the arm is, hold on. The arm is coming out to the side. I see that you put that hand in, it drops, and then it goes out to the side in order to get the rotation. So for now, I wouldn't worry. I actually wouldn't worry too much about what's going on underneath the water. Definitely eliminating that dead spot is the bigger problem. Once you train up, because honestly, here's the deal. You are used to taking a half a second break every other pull. Break, swim, break, swim, break, swim. You kind of understand this. You're taking a small rest every other stroke. When you start moving your arms continuously, you're automatically going to increase your strength level and your endurance level because you're continuously moving the body without that rest. So we need to get some time to adjust and to develop this. You're going to get stronger by simply not stopping your stroke, okay? It's going to build your cardiovascular system. It's going to build your muscular system a little bit more. And then once we're able to do this, and on top of this, you're going to have a newfound appreciation for the water. So this, unfortunately, is going to really change the way that your neuromuscular system is working. And on top of that, this is a very good basic place to start. The one thing that I run into as a technique coach is that if I find that if I try and push too many pieces of technique, it just gets lost in the shuffle. And the neuromuscular system is a very finicky thing. We have habits that are hardwired into our system, and we got to be able to break them. So what we do is we take things piece by piece, and once we learn how to handle and tackle and master the small things, when we really start to go for, okay, well, we need to move this underwater, we need to do this, we need to do that, those things become much easier. So this may sound pretty trivial. It's like, well, just keep moving your arms, silly. This is kind of simple. It's not, and I 100% understand this. There's a lot of mental and psychological stuff that goes into this. So that's what you want to do in the water. Let me show you what you can do on land. So I'm gonna hop on the bench, and then we're gonna do another dry land drill that you can do to help kind of cement this idea in your head. Because I understand most people that are triathletes, you hit the pool 2 to 3 times a week. That's not going to be enough time to learn this. I guarantee you. You try and do this 2 times a week, it's going to be a long time before you actually get this down. So what we want to do is we want to figure out how to do this on the bench and as a separate dryland drill, and then we'll do this. Okay, so I'm gonna switch things over to the bench. Give me 1 minute. All right, hold up. I forgot to tilt my camera down. I had it set up for the live stream. All right, so here we go. So, by the way, link to the bench in the comments as well as the snorkel. So, okay, so here we go. So we're on the bench. So what do we do with the bench? So if you get a bench like this, you can learn how to do freestyle and mimic your freestyle stroke pretty well. So basically, all we're doing is this, okay? This is all we want to do on the bench, okay? We want to bring our elbow up, reach it forward, and then pull it back, pull it back, pull it back, pull it back. You can bend your elbows just a little bit. The nice thing about the bench that I recommend is that it's got a pretty narrow center post, or the support post right here is pretty narrow. It's only about 2 inches long. So it's really easy to get that elbow bend. You kind of see my elbow bend right here in this view. So you grab this elbow bend and you can really work on this. The only problem is it's really hard to do the rotation, which is fine because all we're doing with this bench, and you could substitute this with a ledge, you know, if you have a good long stair, or if you got something that you can put half your body over, and then you can turn so your right arm is just able to keep pulling. This will also work too. The bench is really good if you want to do stretch cords and other stuff to work on some dry land when you're not in the pool. So getting one of these benches is a really good idea. Link in the comments, link in the description below for my affiliate link to buy one of these alongside the snorkel. So what you want to do is you want to grab here, push all the way back, and then just bring that hand right to the front. So just kind of do this nice and easy. You want to do about 30 seconds, rounds of 30. So all you're doing is putting your face in the water and just continuously moving. So what Lacey is doing is she's putting her hand here, dropping the elbow, taking her breath, and then bringing everything back over. So there's a huge pause right here with her left hand dropped and her right hand at her side. So on the bench, all we're doing, just moving the arms, just like this. That's all we want to do. Just move the arms just like that. Okay? All right. So that's what we do for the bench. Now, another thing that we can very easily do is just arm windmills. So we're going to put one arm forward, one arm back. So we're going to bring this arm forward, and then this arm back. Forward, back. So I'm just mimicking my right arm here. My right arm comes forward, right arm comes back. Forward, back. So these are just standard windmills. And all we're doing is getting used to the concept of continuously moving our arms. All right? So we want to just do this nice and easy. Trust me, this is a very good shoulder workout. So what you want to do is make sure when you're coming forward, you want to rotate that shoulder forward. And then as it's coming over, you see my right hand back here, as it's coming from about 60 degrees to 90 past to 120. So this 60 degrees up here, my shoulder is following the arm. We don't want to do out here, okay? We want to have the full shoulder rotation. So then later we can learn how to do it like this, okay? So step one is the windmills. Same thing like the bench. About 3 to 4 rounds of 30 seconds in the morning, 3 to 4 rounds of 30 seconds at night. And then you do air swimming. Or you want to reach up at the skies, reaching to the other side of the pool. One arm down, one arm up, push down, recover, 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 recover. So each time I'm reaching up into the air. Okay, let me tilt the camera up even more so you can see the tips of my arms. Okay? So, as I'm swimming, I'm here, 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 here. Okay? If you were swimming right next to me, this is what you would see. Reach up, 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 reach up. Slowing it down. Faster. Okay? You see each arm is about the same, hitting about the same area. And I am reaching, grabbing that brake, pushing down, push 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 down. And that's how you sprint. So anyway, so that's how you do all that stuff. We're going to go back to the main camera. Give me 1 second here. Forgot to unmute on the software. So anyway, so Lacey, that is going to be my big tip for you today. I really do believe. So number one, we got the timing of the breath. For review, we want to have our head out to the side here already. When our hand gets to the back, we take our breath. As the arm starts recovering, when it hits that apex, that's when our head follows the arm back into the water. Okay? That's how we want to breathe. And the second big thing is keeping the arms moving at all times. Use a snorkel if you can in the water, but definitely the weight bench is going to be a great investment in your swim technique. I basically recommend it to almost anyone. This one is only about $70. You can't go wrong. It's a decent weight bench. It folds up pretty compact. I use it whenever I lift. When I lift, I'm actually really bad at lifting right now, but I have had zero problems with it. It's just a little rough with the rotation, but I'm not too worried about that. But just keep working on dry land to keep the arms moving at all times. So that's going to be it for me tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Remember, if you want me to review your stroke, hit me up, feralswimtech@gmail.com. Instagram, feralswimtech. And also, one more thing, I want to introduce Dynamic Triathlete. Lacey, if you have any flexibility issues, or if anyone does have flexibility issues, dynamictriathlete.com is going to be what you want to make yourself more flexible. They are an affiliate of the stream. It is an excellent program where you get access to an app, either on your computer or on your mobile. I personally use it on my mobile, and they have wonderful 20-minute daily stretching and mobility videos. Mobility, strength, and flexibility. Mobility is flexibility. I am really bad at this. So anyway, if you like what you see, go or blah. Hold on. Hold on. Let me pull up. This is honestly the first time I've ever done this on one of these. But Dynamic Triathlete, they're a fantastic affiliate for Feral Swim Tech. They have 20-minute flexibility routines, and they're all done. Experts have set up these things. I have reviewed a lot of them, because I've done them myself. It is just absolutely great. A couple things that I have found out. Number one, they now have swim warm-up routines, about 6-minute stretching routine to do right before you get in the water, help get you nice and limber. In addition to their running and cycling warm-ups, they just added the swim. I don't know when they did that. Could have been within the last couple of weeks, but this is the first time I've seen it. Also, they have great training plans now. For if you do a sprint, Olympic, half Ironman, full Ironman, they actually have a very good, solid training plan, and it does include swim workouts, and I reviewed the swim workouts, and they all look pretty solid. So $85 for a full year. Offer code SWIM, SWIM, gets you 10% off your purchase, and a portion of the sale does help the, I almost said Frita Bandito Taqueria. That's my other live stream. Feral Swim Tech, also $10 a month. If you use offer code SWIM, you will get a 10% discount on that as well. So get limber today. Check out dynamictriathlete.com, and you also see my nerddom with Final Fantasy 14 up there, but I don't care. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Lacey, I hope this helps you. Remember, I am always available for additional questions or anything. feralswimtech@gmail.com. Check me out on Instagram, YouTube, and or Rumble. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you all so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Keep training, and until later, my friends, good night, Isaiah Norris. Whoever you are, I'm out of here. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.